Hello there, Blindy Sama here. I'm mostly blind and I love weapons, so let's tap and thrust our way into this, shall we? Today I'm revisiting a sword that's one of my favorites in my personal collection. The Hanwei War Sword is an affordable sword, and back when I did my review before, I didn't have a chance to do any test cutting footage. Today you will see that. And then afterward, I'm going to tell you how I still feel about this sword. However, here's a disclaimer. I'm not an expert, my technique is not super great, and I really should have sharpened this sword before I used it today. But that's okay, it was still a lot of fun, which is why I'm all sweaty. So, let's go see a blind guy destroying things. Well now, that was a lot of fun. And I gotta admit, all these years I've had this sword, I've only had to really sharpen it a few times, and it handles pretty well, both in one hand and two. This sword is usually about $240, at least on Colt of Athena. It's around 40 inches long, and it weighs in at about 2 pounds, 11.8 ounces if memory serves correctly, and it does have a distal taper. I believe it's 4.7 millimeters down to 3.7 millimeters, which isn't a lot, but it does what it's supposed to do. Do I think this sword is still worth that money this many years later? Do I think you should go buy one at that price point if you want a European-style sword that's historically inspired? Yeah. I will say, make sure that you keep this kind of sword oiled, and make sure that you do sharpen it, you know, if you use it quite a bit. Because they come moderately sharp, not razor sharp. But I will say, because it has a spring steel temper, it's very forgiving. If you notice in the cutting video, I mess up a couple times, and at one point I get stuck really bad in one of the boxes, or at least it felt like I did. And had this been an inferior steel with a bad temper, it might have actually bent the blade, even on cardboard. But nope, I'm pretty sure this is good old 5160, and you can't go wrong with that. So, do I still think that this sword is worth the value this many years later? Yeah. Go do yourself a favor, if you got an extra $240 or so and you don't have one of these yet. Go get one. Have a nice day.